Yeah, so we'll be presenting a post-hoc analysis of the Bruin trial. The Bruin study was a large phase 1/2 trial enrolling patients with B-cell malignancies to be treated with Pirtobrutinib. Pirtobrutinib is a non-covalent BTK inhibitor that has shown very good preliminary activity in this subgroup of patients. The actual abstract is focusing specifically on the long-term safety of this drug. And so what we know is that BTK has become an invaluable target in the treatment of a number of B-cell malignancies. However, when using a continuous drug, such as any available BTK inhibitor, its efficacy is dependent upon continuous use. And so long-term safety and tolerability are of paramount importance to be able to achieve maximal efficacy. Though Pirtobrutinib has been very efficacious in all of the early studies, long-term safety has not yet been established, and so that was the goal of this post-hoc analysis of the Bruin trial, to specifically look at the patients who had been on the drug for at least 12 months. So I would say the highlights from this abstract are that Pirtobrutinib appears quite safe, including in patients with the long-term use of the drug. And so what we did is we took the entire safety population, which was actually close to 800 patients, and then we specifically analyzed those patients that had been on the drug for over a year. And so this amounted to 326 patients. This subgroup of patients was enriched for patients with the more indolent type of cancers, and so there were over 200 patients in that subgroup, but there were about 40 patients with mantle cell lymphoma, about 40 patients with Waldenstrom's. And so of the most clinically relevant findings, we compared the types of toxicities seen in patients with the long-term use compared to those who were part of the entire study population. And I would say the bottom line is that the safety profile continues to demonstrate the long-term use of Pirtobrutinib with respect to very low rates of grade 3 or higher toxicity, and also extremely low rates of discontinuation due to side effect. Further, there appear to be no late or unexpected toxicities seen with prolonged use. The rates of BTK class side effects such as atrial fibrillation, hypertension, and bleeding are all low and don't appear to suggest any temporal relationship to Pirtobrutinib, all supporting its general safety profile for use as a continuous monotherapy drug. Yeah, so as far as real-world implications, right now Pirtobrutinib is only FDA approved for the treatment of mantle cell lymphoma. It was approved in January of 2023 for the treatment of mantle cell lymphoma patients following 2 prior lines of therapy, including a covalent BTK inhibitor. So the drug is available on the market now for this population, and so I think that this trial would give me confidence in using the drug because I now have a longer experience with respect to its safety, and so I think it supports its use. Obviously, we have separate studies demonstrating the efficacy, which is critically important, but efficacy is only as important as tolerability, because even the best efficacy drug, it only works if patients can tolerate it. And so I think the safety data really support its use in not only the FDA-approved setting, but also in the settings that are being subject of ongoing investigation. And there's a number of phase 3 trials, both in CLL, and then also there's another phase 3 in mantle cell comparing it head-to-head against the covalents, where we'll get a better view of the head-to-head toxicity profile.